Hey guys, welcome to week 42, the last lesson content for Unit 3, Breaking of the Rules. Um, you have 3 lessons this week. The first lesson's about the American New Wave and how the French New Wave influenced American filmmaking. And you're going to see an interesting trailer from Bonnie and Clyde. And if you've never seen the movie Bonnie and Clyde, it's very interesting, and the ending is violent, to say the least. So you'll just watch that and go through the lesson content, and then obviously you'll move on to the next lesson, which involves a further exploration of how the French New Wave inspired future filmmakers. One of which is probably one of your favorite filmmakers. It tends to be a favorite filmmaker of the younger generation, Quentin Tarantino. And we'll look at Tarantino and his homages, let's say, to other previous films and filmmakers. You'll definitely notice that Godard is his most probably the filmmaker that's most influential to his approaches to filmmaking. And we do have a resident expert on Godard with Miss Sutherland. So I will defer any French New Wave film questions to her. She just knows so much about that stuff that there's no way I'm going to be able to compete with her on a game of Jeopardy in that category. And finally, one thing that you'll probably know that I have focused a lot of energy on is the production meeting too. This is your second of 3 production meetings, and you are going to submit another segment of your film. Now, we're just going to state in the content that it's a 60-second segment. It doesn't have to be 60 seconds because your film might not be a full 3 minutes long. So we're asking for a second third of your film. All right, and you'll notice that in 2 weeks' time, after week 42 is over, you're going to submit the last portion of your film that will be about a third of your film. Now, when you're doing your commentary, we're going to ask you to submit your commentary following these directions. Some of you did not follow these current directions. You used an old template from last year. We're not asking you to use that old template because we've received more information from IB over the summertime that helped us create this series of directions, and to allow you a little bit more flexibility in your presentation of your commentary, because it seemed like some people felt that the old template was a bit too restrictive and a bit too prescriptive. What we need you to do, though, is make sure that you have the following information in your commentary. Obviously, you're going to have your name, the title of your film and clip, the URL of your film and clip, a rationale, and written and visual evidence documenting inquiry, action, and reflection during this PM2 window, which has been the last week or week and a half, right? So it's going to be a 2-week window in which you did employ some inquiry, action, and reflection. Okay, so your rationale is going to cover the 2 to 3 sentence statement that involves the name of your film, what you want your film or clip to communicate, and we're just talking about PM2 right here, okay? So if you have a particular element in here that you're incorporating, let's say you have a dolly zoom shot that you're incorporating into this into this segment and you're doing it for a specific purpose, to get the audience to think or feel something or whatever, you're going to articulate that in this rationale. So look at the rationale requirements, then look at the example, and then, just like we've asked you to do before, you're going to write 3 paragraphs. Each paragraph is going to be about 200 words. The first paragraph is going to be about your inquiry process. The second paragraph is going to be about your action process, employing the actual roles and responsibilities that fall under your chosen production role for this third portion of your reel and your commentary. And finally, a reflection of how you thought this portion of your production meeting went. All right? So again, we are not asking you to write just an action portion of your commentary, because many of you just wanted to write about inquiry or pre-production in the first PM. We're not asking you to do that. We're asking you to write 3 paragraphs, inquiry, action, and reflection, with visual evidence to support that. Okay? So take screenshots, storyboard, shot diagrams, shot lists, pieces of your script, behind the scenes photographs, any of that stuff that's going to support what you did in your production role or your selected production role for this is what you want to include here. All right? Because you have done some inquiry to approach this section of your production. You have employed some action because you've produced a third of your film that you are submitting SPM to. And of course, we want you to reflect on how you did and talk about, if there's an issue or something you overcame, go ahead and talk about that. Talk about how you overcame it, right? And how that's going to help you moving forward. Okay? That's it. That's what this week is all about. All right? So if you have questions, obviously you can post up in the announcement, but you can also contact your teacher after you reviewed all of the course content. Okay? That's it. Have a great week. Looking forward to seeing your work. Au revoir.